starting things off in New York, and the first witness in Donald Trump's historic criminal trial is due back on the witness stand later on this morning. But before that, the court will hold a hearing on whether Trump will be held in contempt for violating a gag order. Yesterday, outside the courthouse, Trump complained to reporters about having to be in New York for the trial.
It's very unfair what's going on, and I should be allowed to campaign. And whoever heard of this, you get indicted for that? People in the court just said to me, I can't believe it. This is the case.
Well, CBS News campaign reporter and attorney Katrina Kaufman is following the trial in Manhattan. So, Katrina, we're going to get to the publisher of the National Enquirer. But first, what were the key arguments laid out by the prosecution and the defense during opening statements? Sort of catch us up.
The prosecution and the defense painted very different pictures of this case for the jury yesterday. The prosecution was really focused on showing the jury that this was part of a larger scheme, these 34 falsified business records. They say that Trump, David Pecker, who's our first witness, and then Michael Cohen all devised this catch-and-kill scheme to suppress damaging stories from coming out about Trump before the 2016 election. And beyond that, they were also planting negative stories about Trump's opponents and positive stories about Trump. And they say that these 34 falsified business records were part of that scheme. They were related to the payoff to Stormy Daniels regarding her alleged affair with Trump. On the defense's side, they tried to minimize all of these charges, not necessarily deny the facts of what happened, but they said, these are just 34 pieces of paper that you're talking about here. And these NDAs that people like Stormy Daniels and the former Playboy model Karen McDougal signed, those are just standard business practices. People sign NDAs all the time. That's not a crime. And Trump, he's just a man who was trying to protect his family and save them from embarrassment. And that is not a crime either, Todd Blanche said, Trump's attorney.
All right, so let's talk about David Pecker, longtime friend of Donald Trump, also publisher of the tabloid The Enquirer. What did we learn from his testimony? Anything interesting or new?
He was only on the stand very briefly yesterday, but they were starting to establish his role at American media and the National Enquirer. And one thing that he talked about was how they used what he called checkbook journalism, how they paid sources for stories. And he said that any story that cost more than $10,000 had to go through him. And Stormy Daniels, she was paid $130,000. Karen McDougal was paid $150,000. So that shows that David Pecker had to know about these transactions and be part of them. And today, I'm expecting them to flesh out his larger role in this scheme. And also, he's going to be an important corroborating witness for when Michael Cohen testifies later, because even the DA has had to acknowledge that Cohen has credibility issues, but they're going to be supporting everything he says with other witnesses, with recordings, with documentation that will show the jury the veracity of what he's going to say on the stand.
And so before we let you go, let's talk about this potential gag order. The president's been retweeting stuff that, you know, could arguably be a violation of the gag order. But if the judge finds that he did do that, what happens then?
There are a couple options. What the DA is asking for right now is financial penalties. That's $1,000 per gag order violation. As of last week, there were 10, so that would be about $10,000, although he was just talking about Michael Cohen outside of the courtroom again yesterday. He also could potentially face jail time. I do not think that's something that we could see today, but he could be given up to 30 days in jail if he continues to make these violations and the judge decides that he wants to implement that penalty.
All right, Katrina, thank you.